Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up.
Roberta.
Good afternoon, you guys. Welcome to J is for Justice. Thank you for joining today for today's live. We are going to be going over the case of missing toddler Quinton Simon. We have a lot to unpack, you guys. A lot to unpack. Since I decided to start covering this case and put the event up, I got some more information. So we have an interview with the babysitter to listen to. We have an interview with the grandmother to listen to. And then we have some history on the family and their drama, their dynamics. And I'm not saying that any of the people in the family that we're going to talk about have anything to do with Quinton. But it's interesting that he has an uncle that he is named after who is in prison for murder. So there's just a lot to unpack with this family and to give some insight as to what little Quinton's home life was like. And this child is so adorable. It's disgusting. But we're going to start out, and I want to welcome all the members. Roberters. Hi, Cindy. Hello, Cindy. Hey, Tough Tiff. Thanks, you guys, for being here. Thanks, Mike and Ange, for coming in and moderating this afternoon. All right. And if you guys are not subscribed to What's the 411 with Jay, we are covering a lot of cool stuff over there. Right now, we're doing Kanye, but on Wednesday, we're going to be going over album artwork and the crazy, weird artwork of our favorite record albums. Should be pretty interesting. Hello, Teresa Ann. Thanks for being here. Hello, Miss Robin. All right, so first we're going to start out and we're going to listen to the dispatch call. Let's just go ahead and play that.
27 Alpha 1, County West Sergeant. We have a signal 56, 535 Bocaulta Road, 535 Bocaulta Road. Complaint advised. Her 1-year-old son is missing. She woke up. Her door was open. Advising he's unable to open the door. Thinks someone came in and took him. It's going to be a tan-skinned child with dark brown hair, green, blue eyes. Last seen at 6 a.m. this morning.
350 received.
Leilani, and her son is Hawaiian.
If you haven't already, please check out my coverage of...
Whoops. And that dispatch I got from Cinema Shogun channel. You're going to want to subscribe to him. I will give you the link in the description of the video as well. But he has a lot of stuff on this case as well. And that's where I got the dispatch audio from. Cinema Shogun. So missing around 6 a.m., right? Last seen. So then we're going to play now just a clip from the media, just giving a little insight into the beginnings of this case. And then we're going to get into the craziness that's all of his family.
8 hours since a Chatham County toddler went missing, and tonight there is no active search that we're aware of right now, but investigators are still working to find Quinton Simon.
Earlier today, more than 75 officers, including the FBI, joined the search near his home in West Chatham County. Our team has been at the home where he was last seen speaking with family members and neighbors. The family told us the boy's mother and her boyfriend were released after hours of questioning by police.
The Chatham County Police cannot comment on who may have been interviewed, but tell us they are still treating this as a missing child case, and instead of a broad search, are now focusing their efforts on targeted areas. WSAV's Brian Gallagher has been gathering details all evening and has an update on Quinton's mother and her boyfriend tonight. Brian?
Yeah, that's right, Ben. For all of yesterday and most of today, the whereabouts of Quinton's mother and her boyfriend have been in question. Well, tonight we're learning that the neighbors witnessed the mother and her boyfriend at their house all throughout the day. Now, neighbors claim that the two finished being interrogated by law enforcement very early this morning. And then later that morning, neighbors say grandparents came by. Now, with Quinton missing for nearly 48 hours, tensions were running high in the family. And that's when things started to get heated. Neighbors say they heard several arguments all throughout the day. I was on scene a little after 6 p.m. tonight, where I heard another scuffle break out from across the street. Chatham County Police is asking residents to turn on their Twitter notifications, which is where the latest updates are coming from. Neighbors and family members are hoping for answers as it's closing in on hour 48 of Quinton's disappearance. In Chatham County, Brian Gallagher, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Okay, so this is from October the 6th. His mother and her boyfriend were interrogated. After the interrogation, when they got home, fights broke out in that house all day long. Let's listen to that again, because this is what was happening after the mother and the boyfriend got home from being interrogated, and neighbors heard other scuffles. This is just a reporter picking this up, just being on the scene. Yikes.
Chatham County.
Okay, so that gives you a little bit of insight into what's going on behind closed doors there. There's another one, though. This one here I want to play, and then we're going to get into the family history and stuff. But this is an interview. This is a report from October 6th as well. But this is an interview with both of his grandparents, or I guess the grandma and her husband, which would be the daughter's stepfather.
Megan Shannon, investigators were out today searching for 20-month-old Quinton Simon, but still they have not been able to find him. Earlier today, I did get a chance to check in with his grandparents, who, as you can imagine, are desperate for answers.
Do you believe Quinton to still be alive?
I hope he's still alive. We don't know. We don't have any information to believe he's not.
Chatham County Police Chief Jeff Hadley is optimistic 20-month-old Quinton Simon is still alive. But as the hours tick by, hope is waning. Quinton's grandparents, Thomas and Billy Joe, say their daughter, Leilani, Quinton's mom, is just 22. And according to court records, Billy is Quinton's custodian.
She hasn't always done the right things, and sometimes she does really great, and sometimes she doesn't.
Red flags.
I don't know what to think right now. I don't know what to believe, because I don't think anybody ever believes that this is going to happen to them. I don't know if I can trust her or if I don't. I just know I'm hurting, and I want this baby home.
We want answers. We don't have answers.
Quinton's grandparents tell me more than anything, they want answers.
Whether it's the answers we want to hear or answers we don't want to hear, we just want to know something.
It's just a baby.
She don't
where
trust
they
her
all
daughter.
apparently lived last month. We've also learned that Leilani had a child support order filed against her just last week for both Quinton and his 3-year-old sibling. Shannon and Greg.
See,
Andy, tough to hear that interview you did with the grandmother.
The mom just had a child support order because Billy Joe, her mom, is the legal guardian. So she was going to have to pay child support to her mother for this toddler. If that tells you anything. And this was a week ago. No, she does not trust her daughter. CEO, I have no idea. Why do you ask? All right, let's get rid of that because I showed that. Where are we next? This is Cinema Shogun. This is where I got the dispatch audio from. Check out his channel.
Dispatch channel 7 Alpha 2, 7 Alpha 1, County West Sergeant. We have a signal 56, 535, Bocaulta Road, 535, Bocaulta Road. Complaint advised. Her 1-year-old son is missing. She woke up. Her door was open. Advising he's unable to open the door. Think someone came in and took him. It's going to be a tan skin.
So that's what the circumstances were. The mother called, said she woke up at 6 a.m. and the baby was gone. But he's 20 months old, so he can't open the door himself, right? Okay, we watched the scuffle. Just want to make sure I've played all. Oh, here's one more video before we get to the other stuff.
Happening right now, the hunt is on for a missing toddler in the Savannah area. 20-month-old Quinton Simon has now been missing for more than 24 hours. This is a brand new picture of the little boy we just got in today, and now the FBI is involved in the search.
The FBI.
Family members say the child's mother told police the little boy's father came to pick him up, but police say that isn't true. They're searching the area around the little boy's home with a dive team, a chopper, and ground crews. The mother and others living in the home are being questioned by police.
And hello, everyone. Don is off tonight. The County Sheriff's Office says.
Okay, so you got the gist of it. Now, let's talk about the grandmother. The grandmother broke into the babysitter's home and accused her of selling Quinton. And the babysitter took to Facebook to defend herself. And that is what we're going to watch right now. This is Quinton's babysitter. Now, mind you, the babysitter was watching these kids even though these people were home. So make that make sense. She was babysitting even though these people were home. But let's listen to her. This interview is about 30 minutes long, just so you guys know. And we're going to listen to this. Let me go ahead and put it on the big screen here on the old school. Let me get my foil on this antenna so you guys can see it. Okay, hold on. Let me adjust that foil and that coat hanger. Just about. Oh, I think we got good reception now. Here we go. All right. So runtime, like I said, is about 30 minutes or so. And we're going to listen to her and then we will reconvene. And I have a story about Quinton's uncle to share with you guys as well. And Quinton's uncle is who he's named after. So let's go ahead and listen to the babysitter.
Good evening to everyone. I came on a little bit early so that people can come on. I'm going to let a few more people come on before I start talking. I come on a little early. And like I said on my Facebook, I'm not coming on here to start drama. I'm not an attention seeker. So I don't want anyone to think that, like I'm not. And I wasn't even going to say anything. until what happened today. And this is not directly about Quinton. I don't know any more than y'all do know about Baby Q. It's just something that happened today that I wanted to get straight, clear the air, stand up for myself, definitely. So, what time is it? What time is it? Okay. I got just a few more minutes, guys. I told everybody 8, but I wanted to go ahead and let some people get on. There's a lot of people right now sending me friend requests. Honestly, I don't know how to get off and then accept it and get on, so I'm just going to stay on here. Hopefully, I did make it public, so everybody should be able to see. Someone just sent me a message saying when you get on, if you put at everyone, then it'll share with everyone.
Come on, lady.
All right, I guess I'm going to go ahead and start. There's a lot of people. Okay, so as everyone knows, and I have got so many messages why I'm not talking out and why I'm not saying nothing. Because I didn't feel like it was my place. I did keep Quinton, and I'm going to start from the beginning. How I met Billy Joe and Leilani is through a lady that used to go to my church, Miss Sandra. Her and her mother, Miss Audrey, they're very awesome people. And she called me and asked me, told me the situation, and asked me if I was interested. The next day, I got a call from Billy Joe, asking me if I could keep her 2 grandbabies. And I said yes. Going in, I had never met them. I didn't know the situation that was going on with Leilani, Billy Joe, Danny, none of them. I started keeping them, and I didn't know anything at all. And then the more I seen a lot of stuff, and I was concerned. No, I did not call DFACS because I voiced all my questions and concerns to Billy Joe, the grandmother. She told me that she had custody of the boys. I didn't know why. She didn't tell me that. But they were staying with Leilani. Billy Joe worked out of town. So when I started seeing things that wasn't quite right, I would call Billy Joe and I would tell her. I would text her. She didn't answer. She was at work. She'd text me back and she'd say, okay, I'm going to talk to Leilani. Several times the boys were outside. One particular morning, they were outside in the ditch. My daughter seen them and come running in. We went down there. Leilani was nowhere in sight. I called Billy Joe. She got in contact with Leilani. Leilani was home. She was just in the house somewhere. They would drop them off with no diapers. They would drop them off with no pull-ups. And when the baby came, Sky, they wouldn't send no milk. 2 days, I had to call Danny because Leilani wouldn't answer me, which is her fiance, to bring me milk for Sky. I kept texting Billy Joe. My daughter took pictures and sent them to Billy Joe of Quinton having bruises. Everything that I'm telling you can be backed up. This is not hearsay. This is not me trying to get attention. Who wants to get attention over a baby? We sent her pictures. I sent her multiple texts. She texted me back one day and she said, okay, I'm tired of this. I want you to keep the babies permanently until I can get back home. I told her I would. And I did. So it was about 2 to 3 hours later, she calls me back. She said, well, I'm going to give Leilani a chance. You know, she's a young mother. I've got to be able to try to trust her. She said, I've did a lot of bad things. I got my kids taken away, and I want Leilani, I want her to know that she can do anything she wants to do, and I'm going to support her. So I didn't keep them day and night. Leilani made it clear to me that she didn't want me to keep them like her mother had wanted me to. So I kept them during the day. They dropped them off at between 5:30 and 6. And they picked them up, was supposed to, their schedule was 3:30. But sometimes they worked over and said, her boyfriend would say, text me and say, I need to work a couple extra hours to make up hours. So can you keep them until 6? I would do that. We fed them. We took them places. I love them. They're kids. Like, who's not going to love a kid? So that's a little backstory of how I even met them. Okay, now let's get to the day that this happened. I keep them every day, Monday through Friday. I kept them sometimes at night. At 5:29, they text me. No, I'm sorry. Tuesday afternoon, they went home at 4:30, 5 o'clock. I got up in the morning at 5 o'clock on Wednesday because they usually got here around 5:30, 6 o'clock. I get a text at 5:29 saying, the kid from Danny, the kids are not coming. Leilani is with them. I put okay. Was it a little unusual? Yes, because even when she was off, I had them. She didn't know that we could see her. They sit on the front porch. But if me and the kids, and my kids too, but mine are basically grown, would go to leave, she would be on the front porch smoking, but she would duck and run inside so we wouldn't see her. But I had no problem keeping the babies. Was it for money? No, it wasn't. I charged them. I didn't even charge them for Sky. I charged them for the 2 boys, and it was $15 a piece, $30 a day. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So I text Danny, okay. Didn't hear nothing back from him. I got up. My husband went to work around 7:30. We was outside. My son also lives on this road, so he was going to work as well around 8:30. From 7:30 until 8:30, we was outside. We did not see Quinton. Nowhere. Okay. So then me and my girls, we go to McDonald's. They wanted McDonald's. I live on Chatham Parkway. The McDonald's is literally right down the road. On our way back, I get a text from Danny. He says, have you seen Quinton? I said, no, why? Well, immediately I called him. And he said they couldn't find Quinton. Okay. So me and my oldest daughter here with me, we go over there. We get in the car and we go over there. I let my other daughter out. When we get over there, I asked, okay, he's a little boy. He likes to play and seek. He likes to get in my daughter's closet and play. He could be in a closet. He could be in a cabinet. You know, maybe he's playing hide and go seek. Me and my daughter help you look. They didn't want that. He stood there. He looked at me with the most coldest look I've ever seen and said, we've already looked. I said, okay. So I stood there for a minute and I looked around outside of where I was. Leilani was smoking a cigarette and Danny was standing there. And I go to get in my car. I was going to call Billy Joe, and I did call Billy Joe. She didn't call him. Leilani didn't call the police until I said, have you called the police? And then she calls the police. So we started to leave. Cops came behind me. I could not leave. I guess they said what was on the property had to stay there until after they checked everything. So I left. I came back maybe about 30 minutes later. I asked Leilani and Danny, I said, do you want me to take Zane home? So, y'all got a lot going on. She said yes. Danny said yes. I asked him to get me some shoes for the baby. They got me shoes. I came home. I called Billy Joe. Billy Joe had no idea. I've never spoke badly about Billy Joe. But today, she came to my house after I told her, I texted her. She called me at 6:30 this morning. I'm sorry, I'm everywhere because this has been a lot. She called me at 6:30 this morning. We were talking. Everything was good. I texted her. I told her I was going to cook, that we were going to get flyers and put them everywhere of Quinton, and that we was going to do a prayer circle over here.
And hang up a sign?
Never said that we was going to do a memorial for Quinton because I didn't believe he was alive or that he had passed. Never did I say that. And I can back all this up because we have cameras. Like, everything I'm saying to you, I can back up. And it's just ridiculous. So she told me basically not to text her no more because she thought that I was overstepping. Well, I am just the babysitter, but I took care of them kids when their mother didn't take care of them. And I don't really have nothing to say bad about Danny because he would actually ask me these last few weeks, Miss Michelle, do the kids have everything they need? Do they have pull-ups? Because Leilani wouldn't do that. Now, another thing I want to get to, Billy Joe, after she barged in my house, after all that, she come down the road. I don't live far from her. She barged in my house. This is all on camera. I jump out my chair. She gets in my face, cussing me. I cussed her back. I said some pretty bad words. Yes, I did. Because she barged in my house. Okay. My daughter was also recording. She tried to take the phone from my daughter. She told me that she thought I took her grandbaby. Like, that is the worst thing that you could ever said to me. That is worse than punching me in the face. She did not hit me. I'm not scared of her. She didn't hit me. She just yelled in my face a lot, but I yelled right back. Okay. She said that I had stole her grandbaby. How do you do that? Someone that has been good to your grandkids, someone that has 6 kids of her own that are grown. How do you do that to somebody? And then she started screaming all the way down the road for my neighbors to hear. And I don't care because they know me. They know the person I am. And then she started saying that she paid $700 for my kids to go to Splash in the Burris. My kids are grown, okay? She asked me to take Quinton and Zane. Yes, she did buy the tickets. Just like I told the FBI agent, I never used them tickets. Them tickets are still there. The ticket thing is still on my phone. I never took her grandkids. I never took mine. She's never did nothing for me. I literally did not charge them a lot of money to keep these babies because I was worried about these babies. And not only me, there's neighbors up and down this road that has seen these babies outside. And I'm getting a lot of mad faces, and that's okay because I have the truth. Every text that I have sent Billy Joe is on these phones. Every text, every conversation I've had with Billy Joe is recorded in my house. So the FBI can check this. I don't care. I never want to go bash nobody. I am a Christian, but a Christian can stand up for herself, especially when you accuse me of stealing your grandbaby. I would never do that. I don't have anything on my record. I've never had defects at my house. My kids are grown. My kids have done really good. I'm not, and I have no reason to judge anybody. I mean, I've did stuff in my life. I'm not perfect, but never the stuff like that. And I just love these kids. And I didn't steal nobody. I didn't do anything wrong. So she can bash me all she wants to, but God don't like ugly, and it's going to come back on her for doing this, 100%. So somebody keeps asking me, do I think Leilani done it? I'm going to tell you this, that a mother that lets her kids outside, that doesn't watch them, that numerous people have seen, that they're bruised, they're dirty, and there's plenty of evidence of this. You tell me what you think. I told Billy Joe my concerns. I sent her stuff. And she didn't listen to me. So she can't blame anybody but herself for what has happened. Nobody.
I agree.
And I see a lot of people commenting, but I can't do that. I can't answer all these questions right now.
I agree with her, though.
I don't know much about what's going on over there. I don't know what the FBI is saying. I did talk to the FBI. They checked my cameras. I told them I would when I called the police today on her because I was going to press charges. You can't just bust in someone's house, and I'm still going to do it. I'm calling a lawyer Monday morning. You can't just bust in someone's house and then try to take their daughter's cell phone and hit their hand. You can't do that. Like, that's not allowed. But this has got out of hand. This is about Quinton. This is about Monkey. And yes, I am just the babysitter, I guess. But I watched out for them kids more than their mother ever did. So you can say what you want about me. Have all the opinions you want. But it doesn't matter because I know the truth. And other people know the truth. And that is exactly what I wanted to say. That's it. I'm praying that Quinton is still alive. I'm hoping he is. I would love to just be able to see his face. He is a precious child. So is Zane. So is Sky. I don't know what happened to him, but I know what they went through. I know what their mother didn't do for these kids. And she didn't. So this is what I wanted to say. I wanted to come on here and say that Billy Joe can spread all the lies that she wants about me. It is about finding this baby, this precious baby. And you know what? God is in this situation. God knows. I don't know what happened. God does, but it'll all come out. Everything that happened will come out. So, hate me, like me, I don't care. This is the truth. It is my side, but it is the truth. And like I said, I told the FBI, they have all these phones. They have all the messages where I've sent. Literally, Quinton come over the other day with bruises, belt bruises on his arm and on his neck. I text Billy Joe. I never got a text back. So I don't know what happened to these babies. I just know that I just know that I didn't do anything to the baby. We loved him. And I think that it's not okay for Billy Joe just to come in my house and uninvited and do what she thinks she can do and spread rumors about me. It's lies. So that's all I got to say. Yes, Billy Joe did tell me that she had custody of the boys. I'm answering a question. She did tell me she had custody of the boys and that Leilani did not. Like I said, I've never said nothing bad about Billy Joe, but she come after me for no reason. I know she's got emotions right now, and people, already comment on my thing. Well, you shouldn't do this to the grandma. Well, she shouldn't do it to me because I was the one that was here with the babies, and all I was doing was trying to tell her what was going on. So if I'm a bad person for that, then let me be a bad person for that.
I wish she had a little more regret.
Could I go through the timeline again? Okay, at 5:29, I got a text on Wednesday morning saying that from Danny that they was not coming. Leilani was with them. Then at 9 o'clock, I got a text from Danny asking me if I had seen him. I said no. I called him immediately. He said they couldn't find him. I went over to their house. She did not end up calling the police until after I got there. It was about 9:35, 9:40 when they finally called the police. And literally that's all I know. All I know is what I seen, and not just me. It's more people down here, this road. What I seen when they were with Leilani. That's what I seen. I never said that I was their mother. I'm not their mother. I'm just someone that cares. That's it. I'm just someone that cares. And sometimes I think that gets me in trouble because I care too much. But yes, that's all I got to say. I just wanted to set the record straight. I just wanted everyone to know what was going on. But I have texts, all the texts that Billy Joe and me text today. I never cussed her. I never said anything bad to her, negative. She just went off on me for no reason. But I can back everything up. Everything can be backed up. So I'm going to let it go after this. I'm not going to worry about it no more. And I'm going to put it in God's hands. That's all I can do. So thank you all for watching. I know everybody on here, there's so many people around the world that is praying for Monkey. I called him Monkey. Me and my girls called him Monkey. And he would just smile ear to ear. And he smiled with his eyes when you called him Monkey. He just smiled so big. But we're praying. We still have faith. And that's all I got to say. But thank you guys that joined. Thank you for the positive remarks that's been coming in. And thank you to those who just are bashing me. It's okay. I know. So, all right. Well, I hope y'all guys have a good night. If you have any more questions, I can try to answer them in my message. This is really just overwhelming to me, everything that's going on. Yes, ma'am. I do not think Billy Joe is innocent because, like I said, I got in contact with her several times about what was going on. And I never said that before. But if, you're going to blame me for this and I've been so good to your grandkids, I'm going to tell you how I feel. I feel like you should have come when I text you all them things and told you what was going on because them babies needed you. And you wasn't there. So, yes, that is not my truth. That is the truth. So, y'all guys have a good night. I know y'all are praying. We are all praying. And thank you. I come back on live for a minute. And the reason I did is because I have read some of these comments. And most of them were very positive. But there was a couple I didn't like. Okay, first of all, no one ever paid me $300 a week. That's a lie. They paid me on Cash App, and I have my Cash App. Every time that they would pay me, okay, they would call and try to borrow it back because they would tell me before I knew she was on WIC, Leilani, they would call and say, well, the baby don't got no formula. Could you let me borrow $30 and I'll pay you back? Okay. All this is on text. So with Billy Joe, I know was on my live, but what she is saying that I got $300 a week, that is a lie and God knows it. I literally have my Cash App where they sent me money from Leilani, Cash App. They did not send me $300 a week. And when Billy Joe tells you that she paid for my family to go to Splash in the Borough, them tickets has never been used. I told the FBI agent everything today. We was talking about everything. Them tickets have never been used. My family didn't go, and neither did I take her grandkids. So that's a lie. But like I said, what I have, I've got proof. I've got text. I've got everything that proves that that is not true. Leilani would send me $15 here, $20 here, and then tell me, oh, can I pay you next week? I didn't do it for the money. So that's not true. It's not true. And these people saying I'm trying to bash Billy Joe, I didn't try to bash her. She's the one that came to my house starting. I never said I was going to make a memorial of baby Quinton. Never did I say that. But just like I said, these people know me and they know Billy Joe. And I've heard a lot of things about her that I didn't want to believe. But these people know me and they know my character and they know who I am. So I am sorry that they feel like Billy Joe has to bash me. I hope that she feels good doing this, knowing that this is supposed to be about Quinton, and all I was trying to do was help. That's not my grandbaby. That's not my baby, but is a baby, and I loved him, and I love him. I love him so much, and I'm praying that something happens. But like I said, God has everything under control. And no one paid me $300 a week. And I did clean her house. I cleaned her house 2 times, and she paid me.
Roberta.
But I got pictures of that too. See, I always take, because I do clean houses, before and after pictures. And that $150, I earned it. I earned it. So, like I said, I have text, I have everything to prove and back up what I'm saying. Everything. So no one can say she paid me $300 who was on my live. No, I never got paid that. No one can say I'm bashing her because I didn't want to do this. I did it to let people know that what she was saying about me was a lie. But I already know that they do. And so I'm going to be okay with this. Like, I'm not going to worry about this. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to continue to pray that Monkey comes home to them and that he's okay. That's what I'm going to do. But I just wanted to set the record straight. Billy Joe has never paid me $300. She sent $300 one time in my Cash App because I got the text where I text her and told her these babies had no diapers, no pull-ups, or nothing.
Roberta.
Yes, I did. And she sent it. And she sent me money to get them clothes. And I sent her pictures of the clothes because they literally had no clothes. When they come over here, they was always dirty. And I never said that they were dirty. I even said when Billy Joe was home, it was different. They was clean. When they come over here, they was clean. So, absolutely not. She never did anything that she said. But like I said, she's got the text on her phone. She knows. We all got text. She knows what was done. And I really hated doing this because Miss Sandra is an awesome person. And like I said, I didn't know Billy Joe and them. I met them through Miss Sandra.
The church lady.
So, whoever is texting me these things, it's not true. But like I said, I just seen, Billy Joe coming on.
Oh, God. Lots to unpack here, right? Woo. So we have a church lady introduced the babysitter to Bobby Joe, and that was how she became Quinton's babysitter. Now, I want to say, when it comes to these cases, I really wish that people would stay off of social media in the heat of the moment. I don't know why people do this. I feel like if I was this kid's babysitter, and even if the trashy grandma was blaming me, I don't think I would do a Facebook Live. I just don't think I would. I think that if I had all this proof and I gave it to the police and the FBI, I think I would be confident in that and I would sit on that. But that's just me. So it bothers me when these people, come out like that and are so in your face, with stuff. And I guess it's just the caliber of people in, what they do in life, and how boisterous they are. And but okay, we got a lot of info there. So we got info that grandma has custody, not full custody, but guardianship. Now, this is just in from the U.S. Sun today. The toddler's grandmother, Billy Joel Howell, wanted to remove the child's mom, Leilani, and her boyfriend, Daniel Youngkin, from the home. There's court documents that grandma was evicting these two from her house, and she wanted to go for full custody of Quinton. She said in the court documents, they have damaged my property, and at this point, no one is living in peace. She wanted the couple out, quote, as soon as possible, and requested custody over 20-month-old Quinton and his 3-year-old brother. And then we saw in the interview with Grandma that she said she hasn't always done the right thing regarding her daughter. Sometimes she does really great. Sometimes she doesn't. I don't know what to think right now. I don't know what to believe because I don't think anyone ever believes this is going to happen to them. I don't know if I can trust her or I don't. I just know I'm hurting and I want this baby home. He's my baby. So Chief Hadley says he doesn't believe there's any foul play involved in Quinton's disappearance. If there's no foul play, what does that mean? How is the chief saying, Chief Hadley, a.k.a. Anderson Cooper, how is he saying there's no foul play? We have a 20-month-old who disappeared. There's something foul about that, right? So as the search enters its 5th day today, the police said they were recanvassing specific areas. We are not in need of volunteers, the police said, but want to keep you informed about our efforts to find the little boy. The FBI continues to provide assistance and support. And Chief Hadley said the force would leave no stone unturned. Now, they could be saying things for the perp, right? We know that they lie. They lie publicly, and we get confused because some of that stuff is meant for the perp. So we have to keep that in mind. It may be frustrating to the general public. It may be frustrating to y'all that things aren't developing as quickly as you may like. But we've got to make sure that we're doing the right thing and that we're being lawful, making sure we dot our I's and cross our T's. So that if we discover evidence, it can be admissible in court and we can use it in court if we have to. He added, we're going to hold out hope that he's still alive and that we can find him and bring him home to his parents. That's a lie right there. The sheriff doesn't want that kid to go home to his parents. The sheriff knows damn well that the reason why this kid is missing is because of his parents. The search so far has included police, drones, helicopters, horses, and tracking dogs, according to the local police. They've searched his home, a pond, drainage pipes, dumpsters, and nearby woods. So Quinton's mother's boyfriend reported seeing him at 6 a.m. on October the 5th. So the babysitter was not the last to say she saw him. The boyfriend is the last person to have seen him at 6. Presser at 2 Eastern. Did we miss it? I don't see a press conference. Is there one? No, we cannot believe the boyfriend's accounts at all. I know, Ultra Dark, but it doesn't look good. So if you guys can get me like what network you're seeing that on, because I don't see any press conference. Yeah, there's nothing live right now. Let me know if you guys see it, and then I'll tune into it. Chi Chi says investigators are at the house draining the pool right now. Is the pool dirty? Like they didn't take care of it? All right. I've got the other stuff about the fam to go over with you guys now. So, oh God, where do I begin with this family? Okay, so this is from, I think it was 2006 this happened. Hold on, let me see. I guess it was 2011. At any rate, this is Quinton's uncle right here. This is Leilana's brother. Oh, it was green the first time. Oh, gosh. Maybe they're looking for evidence. I don't know. But this is Leilani's brother. Okay. Ooh, that's scary, CEO. I don't like that. Jessica, have AWP go dive in the pool. I don't know. Someone on YouTube posting live. I don't know what you mean, a live update. Maybe they're going live. I don't see any press conferences, and I have it. I'm searching, and I don't see anything. So, if you guys see a live pop up, just let me know in chat. So, yeah, this is her brother. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about the brother, okay? So this would be, his name is Nathaniel Quinton Betterton, and this happened in 2011. Ready for this? A Pooler man today pleaded guilty to armed robbery and voluntary manslaughter in a 2011 slaying in return for a 45-year prison term, 22 of which he must serve. Nathaniel Quinton Betterton, 19. Now, this is Quinton's uncle that he is named after, okay? Must serve 20 years without parole on an armed robbery conviction. Chatham County Superior Court Chief Judge Michael Karp ordered as part of a plea agreement. Betterton admitting to robbing Timothy Moore on September 12th, 2011 in a wooded area in Pooler. Moore attempted to tackle Betterton, and the defendant shot him several times, killing him. As part of a negotiated plea, Assistant District Attorney Isabel Pauley reduced a murder charge to voluntary manslaughter. Karp sentenced Betterton to 20 years on probation to run in addition to the prison term. He added 5 years in prison with 2 to serve on a charge of possession of firearm during the commission of a crime. Again, Nathaniel Quinton, that is where he gets his name from. So it gives you a little more background on the family. Now, another weird thing. The great-grandmother, here's another, and none of this has anything directly to do with little Quinton. So I don't want to get like the conspiracy theories going out there that, you know, this shit's connected or anything crazy like that, because I don't think that's the case. But it's weird that Quinton is named after his uncle, and his uncle is in prison for murder. And then we have something that happened right next door to the great grandmother's house. These people's kids were missing. No one reported them missing. At any rate, they were found buried in the woods behind their house. WJCL. Let me see. Let me check that out. I'm going to try it on YouTube. WJCL News. Yeah, there's nothing. I don't see anything. And they're definitely not live. So the last thing on there is the police recanvassing the areas.
Victoria, right now the search for Quinton Simon continues for another day. It all started Wednesday morning. Chatham County Police recanvassed what they're calling, quote, specific areas in the search for the 20-month-old earlier today. Our Andy Cole is live tonight for us following this story. He's been following it for us since Wednesday when it started. He joins us from the Chatham County Police Department. Andy, what have you learned?
Marvis, it's been more than 4 days since the toddler went missing from his Buckhalter Road home. Police are not sharing specifics of where those specific areas are that they are recanvassing, but what we do know is that little Quinton is still missing. Police set up a tip line today solely for this investigation. We have the number up on your screen, and by dialing it, you'll go straight to a detective. If there's no answer, you're asked to leave a message. Now, police have declined multiple requests for interviews this weekend, but say they continue to work with the FBI. And we will continue to update the story on air and online as we continue to learn more details. Marvis?
All right, Andy, thank you so much. You've been staying on top of this for us. We'll check back in with you later if we learn anything new.
Sounds to me like police are recanvassing areas that they think are crucial. So I think it's just going to be a waiting game with that. I don't know if there's even scheduled a press conference, and I hate when this happens because it derails me. 7 hours ago is the latest, and that's the latest update. Here's Chief Hadley.
Search for a missing toddler in Savannah is making national headlines. 20-month-old Quinton Simon has been missing since early Wednesday morning. Chatham County Police say his family last saw him inside a playpen inside their home. We want to get out now to Nakaya Guerrero, who is live from the Chatham County Police headquarters.
Hey, Nakaya, the search for little Quinton now entering day 6. Tell us what you've learned from police.
Frank, Olivia, police officers are working around the clock to bring Quinton Simon home, and now they're asking the public for help. Chatham County Police Department has set up a tip line that goes directly to the detective on this case. Go ahead and write this number down, 912-667-3134. We'll also have that number for you on our website, WJCL.com. Again, it's 912-667-3134. For 5 days straight now, local police and federal officers have been working around the clock to bring Quinton home. We just learned they will now revisit areas they've already searched, like his neighborhood off Buckhalter Road and a nearby pond.
I am frustrated. I'm frustrated because we don't know what happened to Quinton. And think how many people love him. You know, think how many people are affected by that. Not only his close family, the neighbors, you know, staff, anyone and everyone that cares about people, that cares about little children.
That was Chatham County Police Chief Jeff Hadley. We also spoke with Quinton's babysitter, who told WJCL 22 News she's praying for the boy's safe return.
It's been horrible. I keep picturing his face. I can't sleep at night because I see his face smiling at me the last day I've seen him.
Again, here's another look at Quinton Simon. He was last seen at home off Buckhalter Road. If you have any information for investigators, call that tip line. You can find it again on WJCL.com. Frank, Olivia, we will continue to follow this story.
All right, our Nakaya Carrera live from Chatham County
I found
this
the press
morning.
conference.
Thanks,
Hold on.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. You guys ready?
Oh, let me fix it. Thanks for waiting, Chief. Appreciate it. I'm ready.
As we continue our search for Quinton Simon, I want to update you on our aggressive efforts to find him. I want to assure everyone that we are continuing to use every investigative resource available for us to locate little Quinton. We have conducted multiple interviews, executed multiple search warrants, and we've canvassed numerous specific geographic areas. The day Quinton was reported missing, we requested the assistance of the FBI. They responded immediately and have been on the scene with our officers since that time. Today, there are more than 40 FBI agents and personnel on the ground in Chatham County working with our department to find Quinton. This includes all agents assigned to the Savannah and Brunswick resident agencies and professional staff, agents from other FBI offices, including members of the Child Abduction and Rapid Deployment Unit, and other subject matter experts. They have been continuously working with Chatham County Police Department for the last 5 days. We believe with the continued assistance of the FBI, we will have a resolution to this case. We understand that people far beyond Chatham County have become emotionally invested in this incident and the search for Quinton, and they want answers. We are committed to finding those answers, and we are committed to finding Quinton. With that said, I'll be happy to answer a few questions if you have.
You know, this has been going on for about 5 days now, and I think everybody is kind of moving towards worst case scenarios. At what point, do you say that there's some criminal aspect to what's going on?
Yes, and that's a very good and that's a very fair question. We're looking at it from multiple fronts, and one of it being a criminal investigation, as well as a missing child at this point. We don't have anything confirmed, so we can't say anything absolutely. But it is fair to say that our efforts and the cooperation with the FBI and them providing an abundance of resources to us, that we are looking at the criminal investigation aspect of it as well.
Chief, how are you looking at the criminal investigation? Right? What people are you looking into? Is it turning towards family members or?
Everybody is being looked at. Everybody is being interviewed. Everybody that had contact with Quinton in the most recent time of his disappearance is being looked at, is being interviewed. And that's an enormous amount of work, obviously, that takes, and we are continuing to do everything that we can do to gather evidence if it's there. We have to follow, obviously, an investigative process. We have to follow the law. We have to get search warrants. I know there's a lot of interest out there and probably some chatter of why haven't you done this and why haven't you done that. Well, we have a constitution to follow. We have the law to follow. Because we want to make sure we get it right. We want to make sure we do this as professionally and as expertly as we can. So if, and I say if, we have to prosecute anyone in this case, that we've done it right. That we don't lose evidence in an evidentiary hearing or anything like that. So
it's criminal, and there's no if.
Work diligently, but we're going to work within the framework that we have to work in.
And what are the updates in the areas being searched? Where is it gone from? And where are you searching now?
Well, we
where
went
are you
back
searching
today
now?
And researched the home in which he was last at. Trying to redouble our efforts and to kind of scrub, no pun intended, with scrub the area and make sure that we didn't miss anything.
Why would it be a pun?
FBI agents outside the home. What was the purpose of them being there?
They're there to help us. It's a Chatham County Police Department investigation. They are here in a support role, and I can't thank them enough. You don't bring 40 people, and some from all over the country, without an enormous amount of effort and expense. Those agents left their homes and left their families to come here and help Chatham County look for little Quinton, and I can't be any more appreciative of that.
Chief, we filed open records request for the 911 call. For the body camera video from that initial response, it was denied today, and originally they said it was because this was a criminal investigation. The county attorney kind of backtracked and then gave us the law that you usually use in a criminal investigation. Why don't you want that out there? Why don't you want the public to hear this mother call 911?
We have to protect the integrity of the investigation, and that's first and foremost. I certainly understand people's interest in this case, your interest in this case, and I can appreciate that. But my responsibility and our responsibility is to do a professional investigation, that we don't do anything that impedes that we don't do anything that tarnishes the integrity of the investigation, and that's my sole responsibility for that.
Have any of the family members, are they still being cooperative, especially this mother, and have any of them told you that they don't want to talk anymore because they got lawyers?
I can't answer that question.
Chief, where are Leilani and Daniel right now? They are the parents and the boyfriend of this young boy, but we haven't seen them pleading to the public for help. Where are they right now?
I don't know where they are currently at this time. I do believe they've been staying at the residence, but I don't physically right now, as I'm talking to you, I don't know where they're.
Oh no!
Why it is that we have not seen them? They're not talking to us. They're not.
I don't know.
I don't have an answer for that.
There's an increase of activity in the area this morning. We saw Chatham County Fire, FBI at the house, a couple of looks like unmarked police vehicles. Is there a reason for increased activity today after kind of a drop off, at least at the house over the weekend?
As I just stated earlier, we were searching that residence again this morning.
I have a quick question for you, Chief. And this point in
And
the
then she has a
investigation, I know you can't speak specifically, but in cases like this, so you exhaust your first search, and now you're back into researching some of those, you said, targeted areas over the weekend. What happens next if no one's giving you tips, if there's no piece of evidence that changes this case? How long do you exhaust this, and then what do your investigators do after today?
Well, after today, I anticipate us working at least throughout the week. At some point, if I'm following your train of logic, that we may have to sit down and reevaluate where we're at. If we've exhausted everything that we think that we can do, if we ask ourselves that question and we think there's nothing else for us to do at this moment, then we got to sit down and reevaluate. But we're a long ways away from that.
Oh, you hear that? Long ways away from exhausting the efforts.
I do.
What makes you believe that, if you don't mind me asking?
I can't get any specifics of the case.
How are you guys doing? This has got to be exhausting. You can tell that you look tired. How are your investigators doing? This is a tough case.
Thank you. Thanks for that question. I appreciate that. They're tired, but they're determined. And I couldn't be any prouder of them. They have worked 18-hour days since last Wednesday morning. Along with the FBI and everybody else. They are all hands on deck. They are committed. They are working hard to try to bring a resolution to this case and find little Quinton. But thank you for asking. I appreciate it.
Springboard off of that sounds like you stated how
I believe we will. I do.
Chief, you set up a tip, or your department set up a tip number over the weekend. Have y'all received any tips from it so far?
I believe we've received some, but we have to verify those, whether or not they're accurate, whether or not we can, follow up on any of that information. I don't have anything of substance. So I got one more question from you. And then
you actually took the words right out of my mouth.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for asking about our detectives. And I promise when we get something to report, we'll report it back out to you. Thank you so much.
Let me ask you just one more question. Has there been any contact with Quinton's biological father?
We have had contact with him, yes.
Is he at all, is he a suspect in this case? Has he been cleared?
He's not a suspect in this case.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a feeling, and this is just my initial thoughts, I think that the police know that the little guy is no longer around, and I think they're looking for him. And I think that they have evidence. They were back at the house again today, again this morning, and he's saying there's going to be a resolution. You have to read between the lines. So he said it'd probably be through this week that they're going to be investigating. So I assume this will probably go on for the next couple days. And I think, he's trying to get like the media off of him, like, hey, this is going to be longer. But I think in the next day or two, we'll probably have some answers. And the grandmother ultimately, in my opinion, is responsible because she had guardianship of him and she was supposed to keep him safe. And she didn't. So she was not following the court orders and leaving little Quinton with his mom, who wasn't fit to have him. This is Savannah, Georgia. This is little 20-month-old Quinton Simon. So I think that there'll be some resolution soon, and I don't think it's going to be a good one, sorry to say, for this cute little boy. These people don't even deserve to have children in their care. It makes me absolutely ill. The grandmother got whatever. She worked out of town. Why she had guardianship when she worked out of town is beyond me. So that's kind of a system failure in my opinion, because why wasn't the system following up on the guardian of these children when she wasn't even home, and the person who's not supposed to be caring for them was caring for them? So what? Grandma got this babysitter because mom wasn't supposed to be alone, and then babysitter gets a text in the morning from boyfriend of child's mother. We all know the boyfriends don't give a shit about the kids 99% of the time when this happens. They don't have any emotional bond with these kids. They don't care. They don't care about these children. And I think the babysitter was brought in through someone at church who had no idea what she was getting into. The grandmother played it off like, oh, I need a sitter, and reeled this girl in, and now this babysitter is right in the middle of this madness. And I highly doubt that their kids are still in their care with a child being missing and it's a possible criminal investigation. Pretty sure those kids were removed. So we have culpable grandma, and then we have babysitter who's stuck in the middle, just trying to clear her name because she turned over all this bruising evidence and all this stuff to the grandma who did nothing, who probably just talked to her daughter. And the ball was dropped. So we already went over Quinton's uncle that he's named after is in prison for murder. Now, right next to the great grandmother, this is something we're going to go over now because we did the press conference. This is what we were talking about before the press conference. This happened next door to Quinton's great grandmother, which would be Billy Joe's mom.
A gruesome and shocking discovery after investigators say they were called out to perform a welfare check.
Hold on. I got to switch screens here. Boop. Boop. You like my sound effects? Pardon me. Okay, here we go.
Well, that check quickly turned into a death investigation, leaving 2 teens dead who were never reported missing.
How sick can somebody be to hurt a child? If you don't want a child, don't have them. And if you got them and you don't want them, give them up. Don't do it this way. This is wrong. This is against the good Lord's work.
A tip is what led investigators to this home on Rosebud Place. They were told 14-year-old Mary Crocker was missing and believed to be dead. She hadn't been seen since October. Investigators questioned everyone inside the home. Deputies say the family lied, saying Mary went to live with her mother. When deputies returned Thursday morning, they discovered Mary buried just feet away from her home, and her brother's body was found nearby. Elwin Crocker Jr. hadn't been seen since November 2016. Authorities believe he was killed at that time, only discovered now, 2 years later after his death. He would have been 16. Neither of them were reported missing. Deputies have charged 3 in connection: the biological father, 49-year-old Elwin Crocker, the stepmother, 33-year-old Candace Crocker, and the step-grandmother, 50-year-old Kim Wright. They say the 3 are being charged with concealing the death of another and cruelty to children in the first degree. Deputies say the child of the stepmother was found alive inside the home. He was taken to the hospital to be checked out.
I've been doing this 41 years. And a while ago, I almost broke down in tears. It's that bad. I cannot understand how you do children like this. It's horrible.
And right now you can see where investigators still remain on the scene. They say more charges could be filed for those 3 after learning the results of the autopsy. Reporting in Effingham County, Darius Johnson, WSAV News 3.
Yeah, so that happened next to the great-grandmother's house. So just to recap, you guys, the grandmother of little Quinton was evicting the mother and her boyfriend from her home. Now, what else was going on, which involved that, was grandma also wanted full custody of Quinton and his 3-year-old sibling. Okay. So she not only was wanting custody, which I don't know why she even thought she could get custody, because she didn't take care of him when she had guardianship. But so grandmother, not great grandma, grandma was going to evict Danny and her daughter. And her daughter was going to be ordered, or was ordered last week, or a week before this happened, rather, to pay child support on the 2 kids to the grandma. So we have this mom with a horrible track record. Grandma does an interview, says, oh, she never does the right, or she only does the right thing sometimes. Then we have Babysitter saying kids were bruised, dirty, whatnot, turned all this information over to the grandma, said it was only when the grandma was out of town were the kids dirty and all this, that, and the other. Then the morning that this kid goes missing, welcome Mysterious Crimes, thanks for subscribing. Then the morning that this kid goes missing, the boyfriend texts the babysitter, says, oh, kids aren't coming, sorry. And then 3 hours later, says, oh, we can't find them. 3 hours later, hey, we can't find them. Didn't call the police until the babysitter went over to their house. Babysitter, in my opinion, did nothing. She should have reported it to authorities. She reported it to the guardian. She thought she did her due diligence probably at the time. She didn't want to see all these kids uprooted. She probably thought, if I tell the grandma who's in charge of them, she'll do something about it. The mother, I don't know if she worked, but she wasn't even supposed to be caring for her kids. And she was. So that's grandma's fault. I mean, that's just the way it is. They were being evicted. Grandma was going for full custody. And then those people, the mother was going to have to pay child support to her mom. But why little Quinton and not the sibling? Why is little Quinton the only one missing? Boyfriend says that he saw little Quinton at 6 a.m. Now, regardless of who actually physically did something, grandma is still responsible for the baby. Grandma was legal guardian and wasn't supposed to leave him with her. So that's going to be a problem. So I don't know how many kids are involved in this entire situation and their ages, but I know that little Quinton and his 3-year-old sibling were going to be full custody was going to be given. Apparently on the lake, the system didn't follow up on grandma, on the guardian. So there's a system failure. There's a guardianship failure. There's a parental failure. There's, on the babysitter's part, the only failure I see on her part is that she should have contacted authorities, but she trusted her as guardian. When she was around, the kids were taken care of. She thought she'd do something about it. MM says that Quinton was reported to be mom's least favorite. She did not bond with him. There was 3 children. And I'm not so quick to jump on the loved versus love when people use the past tense, because I do that shit all the time. I do that stuff when I'm talking about stuff and I'm like, oh God, why am I saying that past tense? And I didn't kill these people. So I don't really go off that. Okay, so there's a baby girl 4 months, Quinton 20 months, and then Zane 4 years. So who has the baby girl? The dad probably of that kid. Yeah, exactly, Seashell. I was reading all your comments throughout the live. I agree with you 100%. The facts speak for themselves. The fact that the boyfriend made the text to the babysitter saying they wouldn't be needing her was out of character. Cassie Carly, I'm not sure who she is. I'm not familiar with that case. But for everybody who is, autopsy is in, not a homicide. Nana Barb thinks that mom and boyfriend... Let's do a poll. Let's do a quick poll before we... Oh, man, there is just a lot to this case. And we will definitely be following it. This poor little boy. But I think the police know a lot more than what they're leading on. How should I word this? I don't know who Cassie Carly is. Do you think... Okay, here. What do you think happened to Quinton? This is going to be my question. Or who do you think is responsible for what happened to Quinton? And they said mom didn't wake up until 9. So is this just the boyfriend? I'm going to put mom and boyfriend. Or, some people may think that the grandma may have done something. Is Cassie the girl that was in the, I only could put 4 choices. Quinton's mom hasn't been interviewed. I'm pretty sure that she has. They were interrogated heavily, came home, and she got into a huge fight with her mom all throughout the day. Oh, that girl, it wasn't a homicide. I don't know. I didn't follow that one. That one seemed a little hokey to me when it went down. I didn't follow that one at all. Grandma was out of state when this happened. Well, I didn't want to put babysitter. I just had to fill it in. I think it's either mom or mom and boyfriend. I think Gma, I just filled it in just to fill it in. I don't think grandma hurt him. So don't choose grandma. Okay, so grandma's not an option. So it's either, we know it's probably not the babysitter either. Okay, so if you think it was the babysitter, choose babysitter for grandma. Replace Gma with babysitter and vote. Hurry. Hurry it up.
Roberta.
Chris and Roberta, do you want them to go to Walmart and hang up a sign?
Tamper. Was she in Tamper? Stranger abduction? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know about the grandma's rap sheet. I haven't looked that up. But I know that Quinton's uncle, who he's named after, is in prison for murder. Abduction for grandma. Replace grandma. Okay, let's redo it. You guys tell me what to do the freaking thing. It's hard thinking of these on the spot. Here, we'll redo it. Because that was kind of stupid. "1% said grandma. It was trash day that day, people said too. Well, they can always go to the thing. So, the landfill or whatever. Okay, start a poll. What do you think happened to Q? She has prostitution and drug charges. Seems legit. Abduction. Mom, okay. Mom, boyfriend. I don't. Okay, I'll put babysitter on there, but I don't think she did anything. Okay. I don't know if this is even gonna be good, but here. I know you guys think, if you think he was sold, do the abduction. And if you think that grandma had him abducted, you can choose the abduction too. So we have what do you think happened to baby Q? Abduction, mom and boyfriend doing something and hiding it, babysitter doing something, or just the boyfriend. And I am, if I could vote in my own poll, I would vote on option 4. I would go for option 4. I wouldn't doubt the fact that something happened with just the boyfriend. There was a story in my hometown, and my hair is being pulled by something. These headphones or something. God, it's like giving me a headache. There was a story in my hometown. And you know what? I want to show you guys this really quick because Little Damien, I haven't visited little Damien's story in such a long time, and he's beautiful, just like little Quinton. So I feel like I need to share Damien's story with you. So this happened in actually the town I grew up in. And I grew up in a small town in Michigan called Romeo. And it's actually a village. So that gives you any idea of how small it is there. Now, let me find little Damien's story because you guys are going to fall in love with this boy just like you did Quinton. And you're going to be angry, but keep voting in the poll too. Damien Sutton. Let's see if I can find a video. In a very prominent family in my town, their son was the culprit. All right, Damien Sutton. Bear with me. And then I do have a funny to end with today. And also, if you aren't subscribed to the 411 with Jay, we got some things going on this week over there that's going to be fun. I should actually cover this story. Super sad. Okay. Here we go. Gosh, this is 2013 already. Okay.
Always taking action for you.
Good evening. I'm Dave Llewellyn.
And I'm Julie Bonovich. Thank you for joining us tonight. This week, the man accused of shaking a 2-year-old boy in Washington Township and leaving him with severe brain trauma will face a judge.
But right now, hearts and minds are focused on the victim of this abuse, Damien Sutton. Tonight, he remains in critical condition in Children's Hospital. 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell is live there now. Saw Damien today. And Kim, how's that little boy doing?
Damien's mom says when she looks at him, she just feels certainty that he is going to be okay in the end. She wanted me to see him and to feel that certainty. And when you look at him, he does look peaceful. And when you look at the monitors in the room, they show his heart is beating steadily and the pressure on his brain is decreasing. He is making progress. He is in a medically induced coma, and his family is waiting for the day that doctors will bring him out of that coma and find out just how he is doing.
Quiet. Giggin.
Just days ago, this was how Damien Sutton spent his days. The sweet 2-year-old would make action figures, give kisses to Elmo, and his mom give kisses to every minor scrape he suffered while playing.
Even if it was a scab that's already healed, he would need it to be kissed constantly. So I kiss his head for him, and I say, all better, trying to get his pressures to go down.
Now his parents are spending their days by his side at Children's Hospital, wondering about his future. Last night, doctors said he may not survive, that when Nikki Sutton's boyfriend, Ronald DeMambro, allegedly shook and beat the 2-year-old days ago, he caused too much damage. DeMambro now charged with child abuse. Doctors this morning performed emergency surgery, removing part of Damien's skull to help ease the pressure on his brain. When Damien came out of surgery, his parents say they saw the first sign he may recover when they looked in his eyes.
They were actually dilating, and it was like the most amazing thing to see.
Which also means the brain didn't go completely dead, which was one of our worries. Bad news is the doctor told me she's more than certain that he's obviously not going to be the same Damien.
Now Damien's parents are waiting, praying for a miracle.
Miracles happen. I want to see Damien smile again.
And that little boy's smile has so much power. People who see that smile and
he ended up passing away, which awful.
Damian Sutton, he died after being taken off life support. His mother's boyfriend already charged with child abuse, but could murder be next?
Yeah, police say Ronald DeMambro admitted to beating Damian while watching him. 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell has the latest. Kim, is he going to face murder charges in this case?
I am live in front of the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office. I spoke to the prosecutor, I spoke to the sheriff, and they say not yet, but they are still working their investigation. Investigators have talked to doctors, they have talked to family members. Now they just need to hear from the medical examiner to confirm that his death was indeed caused by this alleged abuse. Then there will be murder charges. In the meantime, a family is heartbroken and planning a funeral for a 2-year-old boy.
But, you know, we were hoping to still have our Damien, and now the reality's sinking in that we won't.
This morning at 7:41, Damian's uncle says he got the news everyone hoped wouldn't come. The little 2-year-old whose smile, laugh, and bright blue eyes stole hearts died at Children's Hospital in Detroit. The support from the more than 18,000 who took to Facebook promising to pray for him couldn't save him.
We're complete strangers to rally behind one beautiful little boy. And you know, he's our nephew. I can't thank everyone enough.
Meantime, today, this man, 26-year-old Ronald Anthony DeMambro, faced a judge. He was being held on $500,000 bond, charged with first-degree child abuse for allegedly shaking little Damian while babysitting him in Washington Township last week. Now that bond has been taken away, and investigators say expect more charges to be filed.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to wait to the completion of the autopsy and the findings by Dr. Spitz.
And if that cause of death comes back, as we suspect it will, comes back as a result of the child abuse, we will be upping the charges to felony murder very soon.
He's not a man. He's not even an animal. And that he deserves to suffer every day of his life as much as we've all had to suffer this entire week, as much as that little boy had to suffer. There is no reason at 2 years old you couldn't have put him in a room, walked away, and took a deep breath. There's no reason you had to beat that boy till this.
Now, of course, the man accused of abusing little Damian is innocent until proven guilty. But if convicted of first-degree child abuse, he faces life in prison.
Well, he was convicted, and then he got a new trial. You know, I think I will do a video on this. His mother was at work. She was a waitress at this Younger's Irish Tavern, and she was at work. And he said, yeah, watch. And they were staying with his parents. So that house that little Damien was climbing up the stairs, real nice house. Family had a lot of money. But she was living there with her child at her boyfriend's home with his parents. And this happened. Ladies, you can't leave your children with these boyfriends. You can't. They don't care enough. They don't have restraints. They don't have any emotional connection to these children. And sadly, you know, this could have happened to little Quinton. I mean, there's something to be said for mom was sleeping until 9. Was mom really asleep? Did something happen between 6 and 9? What happened between 6 and 9 a.m. that day in that house? And that's why the cops keep going back there. I think they do serve mega pints. It's actually a really cool bar. It's they got good food. Yeah. You just got you can't trust the boyfriend. You just can't. And I don't know how else to say it other than just straight up like that, because this happens far too often. I mean, I think we can all, off the top of our heads, think of a case where we heard of, you know, shaken baby syndrome by the boyfriend, or, you know, these guys going off, you know. Just don't leave your kids alone with them. That's all. All right, you guys, I have a going out video, one of my funnies, you know. If you guys even find them funny. I mean, I find them funny. But, hey, you know me. I'm a little quirky in that department. But I do know that a lot of you share my sense of humor, which I am so grateful for. Because not a lot of people do. All right. So I made a short on this earlier. You may or may not have seen it. I don't know. But with all the hoopla with Jeff Dahmer, which is one of my least favorite cases. I hate the Dahmer case. I don't even want to talk about it, to be honest, because it literally makes me want to hurl. I do not like Jeff Dahmer, Sam I am. But I did go ahead and I found this clip. It actually found me. But I thought it was pretty hilarious. And this is from Saturday Night Live in 1992, when one of my all-time favorite actors, Chevy Chase, so funny, love him. Don't ever send me anything bad about Chevy Chase because I won't believe it, because I absolutely love him. And if he got ruined for me, like a lot of celebrities have been ruined for me just because of their wacky ways, I would be really bummed to lose Chevy Chase because I really, really, really like him. So here is Chevy Chase on Saturday Night Live as Jeff Dahmer.
Jeff, if you'll forgive me, I think you've been overthinking this. My best legal advice is that you go into that courtroom, relax, and just be yourself.
Now, when you're found insane,
If I'm found insane, you will be committed to a mental institution. After a year, you can petition for your release. Now, let me see if I understand you correctly.
That's so nasty.
You're both pretty confident I'll be found insane. Is that correct? God! God! I spend a year in a nut house, then I can petition to leave. I mean, it's that easy. No problem for me.
Jeff, what are we gonna have to do with you?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? I'm just over here gnawing off my hand. All right, you guys, enjoy the rest of your Monday. Today is actually my daughter's 22nd birthday. So happy birthday, Rachel. I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Lizzie Bones in the house. Hey, Lizzie. But happy birthday to my daughter, Rachel. I hope you have a wonderful day. Today was a wonderful day 22 years ago when I had my baby girl. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Hope to see you over on the 411 tonight at 7 p.m. We're going to be doing part 2 of the Kanye interview. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be doing some weird like album artwork and going over like our favorites and talking about the weird meanings behind them and shit like that. So it's going to be pretty cool. I'll see you guys later. Dance this mofo out and have a great day.
Roberta.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, 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 damn. You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back. 'Cause I ain't got time. I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn.